Pick a card, your spiritual entourage. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD and I'm here to do another reading for you. This time we're going to be exploring what your spiritual entourage has in store for you, what they have to say about your current life. We're going to do an energy check, what they're supporting, what they're applauding, and your best course of action. So feast your eyes upon the options. Y'all know how this goes. Pile number 1 with destiny, pile number 2 with harvest, and pile number 3 with prosperity. I will see you at your reading. Hi pile 1, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD and I'm here to do your reading. You chose the destiny card. All that I shall need to know as I walk shall now be shown. It shows this lady just chilling on the moon. And the number 8. So your energy check for the day or the card. And if this doesn't match, then choose something different. Or you can look at other videos, other tarot readers, whatever is good for you. But your energy check, basically, this tells me that you're really kind of undergoing some kind of an exhaustion, an upgrade, if you will. And you could not be seeing it as an upgrade. I feel like you just feel tired, listless, unmotivated, perhaps. The level of exhaustion is more than just a physical exhaustion. It's a mental and emotional weariness. It's a spiritual exhaustion currently that you're undergoing. And I'd like to know a little bit more about the why. So, energy check for pile number 1. Why is this card here? Energy check for pile 1, please. 2 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. I always go back to these cards. You guys know I love my zombie deck like nothing else. But this gets a nitty gritty. I feel like this has to do with relationships, with closeness, with getting clarity, having clarity. The way that we see things are so radically different from other people. I'm looking at this hand right here and I feel like people around you, I don't want to say they don't have spiritual eyes to see, but what you see is so radically different. You're highly based on spirit because you're deeply connected to the moon. And I feel like you could also be absorbing other people's energy as well, by the way. But mostly what I'm noticing is that people are clinging and holding on to like an outdated, outmoded way of thinking, of feeling. And right here, you're connected to those people on a deep level. These are best friends. These are lovers. These are, I heard, patriots. These are people that want to sync their lives with you. These are people that you really love and adore and you want to kind of uphold. But at the same time, I feel like their energy somewhat drains you, exhausts you. I don't think that they have a clear understanding of who you are. I feel like you go through cycles over and over again, and this has been a pattern. And you tend to think, well, they just don't get me. So you only perhaps share what it is that they might comprehend from, you know, I'm not saying they're dumb, that's not it at all, but what they can possibly comprehend from their standpoint. And I think that you're really well aware of that. So your spirit team is saying, we see this pattern, and we are here to help you. Okay, we know that you need support as well, and I feel like you're not getting it from your 3D life. So let's jump into it, pile number 1. So what are they supporting right now? I'd like to know your spiritual entourage. What are they supporting in your life for pile number 1, please? They are supporting your independence. They are supporting separation of church and state. And perhaps this is why you're not getting the help that you would like to get. Number 1, I feel like you're not resting quite as well, and you're not leaning on spirit, meaning you're not in prayer, or you're not meditating as much as you used to. I resemble both those remarks, by the way, so that's not a slam. And also, yeah, Well, the King of Wands, they're supporting you, and I heard entrepreneur, so maybe this has to do with people at work as well. I feel like you're surrounded by just people that don't quite understand you. You definitely have a different way of looking at things. You have a way to cut through the nitty-gritty to get to the bullseye immediately. It's a more effective way, and there is a choice to be made. And the reason why this is happening and they're supporting you is because if these people who surround you on a 3D level were actually going to back you up, I feel like you wouldn't have the strength, you wouldn't have the wherewithal, nor the stamina to go ahead and pursue who you most authentically are, to stand on your two own feet. You would play a supportive role, and you, pile number one, are main character. Make no mistake about it. With the number 8 right here, I also see that as a nimbus, or that, you know, infinity sign on top of your head. It's in fact on top of the king's head right here. And this is, you know, watching everything kind of burn. This is watching new energy coming into being, and maybe you're processing that as well. But you're not meant to think like everybody else, and that's a huge part of it. Oh goodness, you can't make this up, you guys. You know that you're deeply connected to spirit, and I know it's been exhausting. I know you want to give up. I know you want some support. I know that you're not necessarily saying, I want to rest on my laurels and I want to have other people carry me. That's not it at all. I feel like a weariness that you can't even explain to people. And the funny part, and it's not funny at all, like haha, it's ironic, I feel like people just don't really comprehend it. But I'm gonna say that you are deeply celebrated. You are looked up to. I mean, I know sometimes that's just not even an encouragement when we're feeling this level of exhaustion. And you could be tuning into the moon cycles, and I think we're undergoing like an eclipse right now as well. So a lot of things are going on. But your spiritual entourage is here to tell you that without this separation of you and other people around you, you would not be as strong, resilient. You would not have the wherewithal to be able to stand up and be as fierce. I mean, this lady is just like, all right, come at me, bruh, because I have everything I need. I don't necessarily need you. I'm looking fine like wine. And even her falcon is a statue. It's funny because it's almost like, you know, this is the modern version of the old school tarot in some ways. And I think that you could have incredibly beautiful feet. Where that comes from, it doesn't make a difference, but here we are. And I think that people just really look to you for direction. And the reason why you are designed to have people look to you for direction, you're designed to stand out. You're designed to cause people to go, what the hell is going on? Okay, you design people, you're designed to have people a little bit spooked, okay, to wake up, to have an awakening. I feel like you can't make people feel anything, but you cause a lot of emotion around you. And this is part of what your spirit team, your entourage is trying to tell you, is that you're so connected to spirit, and you're highly decorated, and you're highly respected. And you may not feel that way on the 3D level, but on so many different levels, you are pedestal. By the way, there's a lot of yellow here. So this is to get your solar plexus going. What endears you to other people is your fiery nature, your differences, your ability to stand up and just be yourself. And while this is exhausting, this is much needed in the world. I feel like this King of Wands is looking at the dumpster fire and pretty much like the old ways of doing things. And I think that you tend to kind of terrify people at times with your reality or with your perceptions. Now, simply because you say, hey, your house is on fire and people don't want to hear it, doesn't mean that you're wrong. And it doesn't mean the information is not warranted. They need that warning regardless. So I feel like if you can look at it from that perspective. Also, I'm hearing just a little while longer. We are supporting you. Your entourage loves you, is here for you, and they want to support you because you have a big, big role to fill. You have huge spiritual shoes to be able to step into. What are they supporting? Hello. Look at all this fire. They're supporting your transformation. They're supporting I feel like you're somebody who undergoes a lot of transformation, like a lot of the time. So people do get confused by that, and that's perfectly fine. I think that in the end, they will actually, you know, come around and go, oh, okay, wow, I need to upgrade too. I need to change. I need to grow, whatever the case may be. You could have pets around you that are part of your entourage, by the way, your spiritual entourage, and also pets in the 3D that are part of your entourage. And this is designed to give you love and support and to make you feel that you have luck, okay? It because it could be a brutal energy, right? So we're supporting you, your entourage says, by making you feel like you have that companionship. There is a twinning or a mirroring going on right here with the number 21. It reduces to number 3, and this is spiritual support once again. But I definitely feel like this has a lot to do with like work and foundations that were built once upon a time that are actually currently falling, and that need to be looked at differently. And so Spirit says, as your entourage, we support that, okay? We support you speaking your truth. Don't give up. Just a little while longer. I almost wanted to say a little while longer. So you could be somebody who likes to play with words or the way things are pronounced just for fun, for some comic relief here. But you are definitely, I feel like, highly esteemed. I feel like you've undergone many, many changes, maybe 6 major changes if you look back. And in many ways, you could represent, this is almost like the JFK parade thing or the, you know, the president. And yeah, we all know that, you know, what happened there. He got shot and the whole thing with Jackie O. But I'm going to say that I feel like people tend to look to you and celebrate you, even though they don't understand what is going on, even though they're a bit fearful. Now, what are they applauding? What are they applauding in your life? They're applauding the fact that you know that you have options, that you are diligent about looking and seeing what is real, what is viable, and not taking nonsense. Wow, that is so cool. This is actually the 9 of Cups. What are they supporting? They are supporting your wish. How about that? How about them apples? If you wish for peace, if you wish for support, if you wish for people to actually understand you. On the 3D, I'm looking at this Hierophant's attire right here, and I feel like it's very connected to Mother Earth and grounding and the first chakra, your root chakra, and all of the red here. So I feel like in just a little bit longer, you're going to feel grounded and supported as well. And they're applauding your dream. The best course of action is the Magician. I heard miracle. So maybe you're trying to manifest a miracle. Maybe you're trying to manifest an awareness that people, or maybe you're trying to manifest an entourage on the 3D that really understand and support you. Because while I feel like you have people that do support you, maybe for aesthetic reasons, maybe for romantic reasons, maybe because they're friends and family and things like that, I don't think that they're connected to spirit the way you would like. And while having those connections are really helpful, you would not in lieu of, but you would prefer in addition to that entourage on 3D, you would prefer to have people that are tangible, that you, that are on your level, that are psychic as well, that are connected as well, that can see the world for really the dumpster fire that it is currently, but not just see the demise, see the solutions, see the resolve and the growth and what goes behind all of that. So I have compassionate, warmth, caring, intuition, healer, supportive, did we say support? In the flow and empathy. So your entourage is saying, hang in there a little while longer, and we are supported and applauding you to manifest, okay? Because you have to have intentionality, an awareness, and a focus that you actually want people in your caliber. And if you're not focused on that, it's harder to manifest, of course. What else? Look, is this person not checking the world out? So the Page of Swords is a little investigator. They could be a little spy, witty, communicative, vigilant, curious, mentally agile, alert, thirst for knowledge, chatty, relentless. Oh, inspired messenger. So I feel like right here, this is talking about manifesting your spiritual team, your entourage on the 3D, at least some supportive roles so that you, because you're definitely main character right here, can feel like you're not just burnt out all the time. So you are being advised to go ahead and cleanse a lot more. If you can get in the tub with a 1.5 cups full of Epsom salt, program your water. If you've been here at all, you know I talk about weird things like that. And ask the water just to really take away all the energy that doesn't belong to you from head to toe, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever the case may be, so you can have that clarity that you need. And you also need clarity in order to manifest properly. So make sure that you are focused with intentionality. I feel like the people on the 3D that are meant to be supportive of you, or at least somebody lean on, somebody talk to, that can actually hear you, because I feel like people hear but don't get it. They hear but they don't understand. And you need someone, you need people that actually comprehend what it is that you're undergoing. And you can call this in. So your best course of action, again, is to be a magician. Know that you have all the resources, all the tools you needed in order to bring about this wish, this dream, this support that you need in order to continue your work. And your work has been quite the burden. So the best course of action is bring in more support and ask your spirit team to help your entourage, to really help you to manifest this in this lifetime, so that you don't burn out, so you're not exhausted. So they want to help you too. They want to bring about this love and this support. That's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 2. My name is Chriselle with Psychic MD, and you chose this beautiful card, the number 43. With harvest, as the waves of the ocean are infinite, as the trees in the forest grow tall, let my work now bring me harvest. I am ready to receive my all. So you guys have been toiling. And it is time to receive your harvest. And I feel like you guys can have a connection to pile number 1, but we are going to see if that is true. And I'm sensing a level of exhaustion, of tiredness, of overwork, of burnt out. Maybe perhaps you are someone like myself. You have a full-time job, and then you have a side gig, and then you have a channel or something like that, okay? Maybe you're just doing a little too much, but your spiritual entourage wants to do an energy check. And let's find out what's going on here. Stop. Identical cards, you saw me mix them, that we got for pile number 1. So this also has to do with your relationships, with gaining clarity. And I feel like this is a little bit actually different from pile number 1, because this is gaining clarity about what is beneficial, what is helpful. This is seeing fruits of your labor. This is getting confirmation, the things that you've cut out of your life, whether they're ways of doing things, whether ways of doing business, whether they're investments. Maybe you switch your MO, you diversified your portfolio some way, somehow, and you decided to put things into a different, different market. So any of these things can be weighing on your mind currently, but you're wondering, is it going to produce? Because this person almost appears surprised at what she's holding in her hand right here. And I feel like in the same way that, it's not like you sat around and waited for these things to come to you. You've been working hard for them, and you are experiencing the fruits of your labor. And I think that while this is something that is a good thing for you, make you feel stable in the whole 9 yards, I feel like your energy check, you're kind of like, well, can I get more? Is there more to be had? Have I beaten all the bushes around? Now that can have so many different ways to go with it, but I'm not going to go with any of those ways. I'll leave that to your imagination. Now, I feel like you could be somebody very earthy. Maybe perhaps you are growing. Maybe you live in like the rainforest, or you have a lot of trees around you, live up in the mountains. But I feel like you're opening up your heart to abundance. And this has to do a lot with your sacral chakra, depending on how you wish to pronounce it. You know what? One moment, please. All right, back to you. So I feel like you are definitely waiting for your harvest to come in. You could be watching it during the time that I'm shooting, October, November, December. That could have something to do with it. But you're definitely waiting for harvest. You are looking at things and how they are multiplying. The possibility of even more coming in. Your investments, your time, energy, and emotional investments. Are they coming to fruition? I feel like they are. So let's see what else we have going on here. For what is your entourage supporting, okay? So we would like to know what they are supporting. And I started to say how you could live by the ocean, or you could have like a real love of nature and go visit the ocean and go visit the forest. And I heard petrified forest. That's interesting. But any of these things could be really grounding and cleansing for you as well. So I feel like there's a need, almost like with the number 8 in the first pile, to really ground your energy as well and purge at the same time. That sounds so weird. So, yeah, get some cleansing with like water or agua de Florida or cascada sagrada. What is that, you ask? Let me see. Let me show you. Cascada sagrada is this here, and it's basically eggshells crunched up with holy water and blessings, basically. So if you're into all that, that's something that you can use as well to bring about this harvest. What is your entourage supporting here, please? For pile 2. The 2 of Pentacles. You might be trying to juggle 2 different things. The number 2 could be very important to you, or you could be seeing the number 222. I certainly have. That's kind of cool. What are they supporting? I feel like when you see 2s around, this is just letting you know that you are divinely supported, that your spiritual entourage does not leave you. They are your number 1 fans, and they are here to help you. Now, we have the 9 of Pentacles right here. They're supporting this harvest, this monetary harvest, emotional. But it's also a way of being. It's a matter of carrying yourself. It is a mindset. And the more that you adhere to this mindset, the more that you attract support in the 3D world. I feel like you're going to attract, I heard benefactor, but that's not necessarily what people are looking for. But you can attract support in so many different ways. It's just people to really support you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but also retain your independence in a massive way. And so they're here to support that as well. What is this here? Oh, it's a hangman. Hello. Okay, so they're here to support you getting a different perspective on things, for you to look at things in a totally different way. This is pause, surrender, letting go of letting go, waiting, new perspective, wisdom, self-sacrifice, uncertainty, and contemplation. So they're here to support you to gain a new perspective. You could have a connection to the moon, and definitely with harvest, that brings like moon vibes, doesn't it? Speaking of the moon, actually didn't even really look at that, but the moon here, illusion, hidden, subconscious, the unseen, the unknown, and I feel like fears and all of that. So this is sometimes not knowing, not being able to tell the good dog from the bad dog, but this is also following your intuition. You're kind of like, yeah, it's a good idea to invest in, you know, this market right now, or maybe I should spend some time doing this, and the rewards are going to far outweigh anything that you put up to, anything that you put into it. Okay, so in other words, it's going to be some effort, yes, but the rewards are going to outweigh that. Now, I keep hearing benefactor. If you are somebody who is the benefactor of like supporting someone else, right? I feel like the rewards are perhaps even unseen, but unmeasurable as well. So you might be supporting someone financially, mentally, spiritually, or vice versa. And I'm going to say that the rewards for the other person who is doing this, like this benefactor, is part of your spiritual entourage, okay? But I could, obviously, this is like somebody in the 3D world, and they could be really supportive of you in some way, somehow. Even though they don't really understand all the undercurrents, it doesn't make a difference. Here we have the lioness. You've earned all your stripes. And so, oh, okay, I see. She's got some stretch marks here. So I'm going to say that it's important to really embrace your battle wounds. At this harvest time, you know, when I lived on the farm in Puerto Rico, they would go out there to the finca, and they would, you know, have these like huge machetes to kind of cut back the jungle and all of the trees and things like that, all the debris that was in their way. And it was hard work, and they would come back exhausted and dirty and all the things. Their boots were definitely muck boots. They would be, you know, because it's a rainforest, they would be pretty dirty at different times of the year. And so it was no small feat, but the rewards were amazing. Once upon a time, the coffee that was grown around there was amazing. The produce was pretty impressive as well. But I'm saying that all of that had a lot of rewards, and it served to feed and support many, many people around them. But it's not just your brute hard work. You've earned your stripes. You've earned this time to kind of rest on your laurels, I guess, a little bit, because you've invested so much in other people and things that bring clarity and closeness and love and truth. And yeah, finances as well. So you're here at this point in time, and you're being asked to enjoy the support that you receive, to be in the receiving mode more than you are in the giving. Yeah, look, I feel like you're a chronic giver. It might be difficult for you to receive, but that is a mindset that you can easily work on and get out of, because sometimes people really do feel better about giving, or they have a desire to give. And whatever giving looks like to you, you could have given things that people don't really even comprehend why they want to be generous with you, but they do. And it's because you've given them maybe emotional support or mental support, or you've been reliable, or you've been that rock when their life is chaos, or you've lent clarity in a world where it is a dumpster fire at times right now. And this is justice. And I feel like the world and spirit and your spiritual entourage is allowing for justice to come, for the scales to be balanced once again, not only in your life, but those around you. And part of that means that they get to support you mentally, emotionally, financially, whatever the things, okay? But I think that this kid, it doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to pay your rent or whatever, but it can mean that you're receiving gifts, or you're receiving an extra measure of grace, okay? Yeah, and that's what they're supporting, because you've been through very difficult times with the Tower. I'm going to say that you are the epiphany. You're the light to the world. You are the lamp. Look at these really cool clouds in the background. I love them because they're like fake blue clouds. Let us look at the clouds while we chat. So you are being divinely supportive because you've been here for other people during the time that things reach a climax. That's exactly the words I heard. So that's exactly the words that I'm using. Sudden change, upheaval, revelations, awakening, destruction of old foundations, disaster, trauma, chaos, and radical shifts. And I feel like you're the person perhaps that might initiate. You might be an initiate to these energies in other people. And the reason why this is being supported is because people need to be awakened. They need to understand that this building is a shell of a thing, a shell of what they can have, and that things sometimes need to crumble and be cleared away in order for better things to come to them. And that's why you are being supported in being the great truth speaker. You could be the black sheep. You could be the outcast of your family. But people in the end support you because you are a truth speaker. And spirit and your entourage support this as well because it's needed. And they're acknowledging that it's not easy. It is difficult. What are they applauding, please? What are they applauding? The world. They're applauding an ending. And it could be many endings in your life. So this could look like, okay, you're moving away from this. Maybe you have brought the Tower moment to people, places, and things. And they've, you know, he who has ears to hear and eyes to see, let them do so. But sometimes people, especially your own friends and family, like from that have known you forever, especially family, they're not going to really respect that or think much of it simply because they've known you from when they were little. So if they've seen you in diapers, it's hard to have people like that respect you when you are connected to spirit. And unfortunately, I feel like, you know, if you believe in the Bible, Jesus went through that, and I feel like that's part of your path as well. So don't be surprised by it. What are they supporting? What is your entourage support? Your abundance. Look, this is like harvest upon harvest. It is your time to receive, darling. So if you have been through it, if you're exhausted, if you've been kind of feeling like you're a little bit dreamy, even though you're putting elbow grease behind it, you're not sure how it's going to work. It is going to work. It is going to pan out, and what you are giving will return to you tenfold. So I know for a fact that you've been giving a lot, because I feel weary, okay? I'm feeling that tiredness, that exhaustion. The Six of Cups. So you could be returning to a family home, a time where maybe you've like moved away from your family home, your family of origin, and maybe things are calling you back. There's been an ending and you need to return home. Maybe there is a parent who is in need of assistance, or someone who's crossed over and you need to attend to those affairs. So that's not to spook anyone. Okay. Yeah, this could be that you're returning to your past to retrieve a missed opportunity. This person has someone literally at their window. Actually, this is interesting because when I looked at it forever, I kept thinking it looked like they're trying to give you a cup, right? She's got 3 cups right here. She's looking listless. She's like, I don't even care. If you're at my window, I have 3 cups. What do I care about the 4th? I'm good like this. I'm not interested. And she gives her full on back with no cares, no F's in the world. Now, this could be seen the other way, that you have 4 cups. You're kind of bored. You're really not that interested in what it is that you have. And somebody comes in and they want to steal a cup from you, stealing an opportunity, stealing an emotional fulfillment from you as well. And this is something that maybe perhaps maybe she's so into her cups, right, that she doesn't even notice. Regardless, I feel like you have another chance, another opportunity, and it's being handed to you, seeming from nowhere. So I don't think that you have to pursue it much. She seems pretty relaxed, and all things are coming. This person is getting flowers to the little child right here, and this person is being given another cup in spite of themselves. It's like, I don't think you expect it. It's an opportunity returning to you. And this Empress is like, harvest, what? This is harvest. Oh, I am the harvest. Okay, so all the good things. What are they applauding? What is your entourage applauding here, please? The 10 of Cups. That's so cool. Just give me like Brady Bunch energy right here. But they're applauding your desire for emotional fulfillment, for having other people also feel emotional fulfillment. I don't feel like this is selfish energy at all. And this could be, it looks to me like they're bowling, right? They've got all the trophies in the back and they're bowling, and it's like a family affair or a team that looks like a family. So I feel like this spiritual team, your spiritual entourage, is saying, you know what? We are here for it. I heard the words bowling for Columbine. It's kind of controversial in my time. You can watch that if you feel led to. But I feel like this is definitely talking about your spiritual entourage and how it's going to be mirrored in the 3D, okay? So you do have a lot of spiritual trophies that maybe you're not even understanding or seeing, but they're supporting you, applauding you, and be like, oh my gosh, they had, you know, I don't know what they call when people bowl and they have a full strike. Is it a strike? I don't know. When you say you got a strike, people think, you know, I would think anyways, that's not good. Like 1 strike. In California, you have 3 strikes, and you're not only are you out, you're in jail, like for good. So that's not what we're talking about here. My brain. Okay, so best course of action, please. For pile 2, best course of action is the 8 of Pentacles. Put your nose to the grindstone. Focus a little bit more on work, and I think that you can get creative with it. You're creative. If you're involved in any creative endeavor right now, because he is painting. He's painting her like one of the French girls, right? kind of a Titanic reference, horribly paraphrased. But I feel like if you have something that you've been working on, that you've been chiseling through, and that you wake up and you do, and you go to bed and you do, a little bit like these videos do take me a lot of time. And I do them because they bring me personal joy, and it is a good outlet for my brain. It's kind of like a brain dump, right? So the Eight of Pentacles is somebody who has been honing their skills. Best course of action, continue doing what it is that you like to do when you're burning the midnight oil. If it's writing, creative writing, if it's making something, if it's knitting, I don't know the deal. But I feel like this is gaining clarity. You're going to gain clarity, right? You're going to gain clarity seemingly out of nowhere with the Eight of Pentacles. You might even have communication regarding this skill, this gift. And I feel like you're going to take a chance. Look at her in her buffness. That is so cute. She's like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to take a chance. But with every chance, you want to be aware to travel light and to be aware of the pitfalls, which is what this dog is trying to like tell his human master. Best course of action is, you know, keep doing what it is that you're doing. Even if it appears that it's not getting you anywhere, it doesn't make a difference. Continue it, because it will reap great rewards, and it is part of your harvest as well. You have a new beginning. So the Eight of Pentacles, and I'm going to add this guy. You have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you have the ability to be financially free right here, and maybe perhaps just continue working this love, whatever this is, making jewelry, knitting, starting a new business, second, third business, maybe a mobile cleaning car service. I don't know what your thing is, but continue doing that, continue working on it. It's going to be very profitable, but it's going to support you emotionally, and it's part of your harvest, part of your blessing. Much love to you. If you like this kind of read, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose the Prosperity card, and why would you not? Prosperity with the number 3. As this tree grows so strong, so fine, so may I prosper from the universe divine. So mote it be, right? Pile number 3, your spiritual entourage. Let's get into it. Let us get into it. I'd like to know a little bit about an energy check for pile number 3, please. Energy check for pile number 3. Let's see what's going on. So currently you could be in a phase. I don't want to even say a phase, because when we're in this magician energy, we're embodying the magician. It's not a phase, right? But we could be in our villain era. We could be looking at what we can do by ourselves. I feel like you could be mastering a lot of skills, a little bit of, I feel like people think that maybe you're showing off a little bit. And I feel like that's far from the truth. But perhaps because they're not included, it could feel a little bit like show-off energy. You are utilizing all of your skills, realizing that you have everything that you need on hand to manifest what it is that you want. Energy check for pile number 3. And we're exploring your spiritual entourage. Yeah, with great clarity, with great swiftness. You have the ability to cut through everything that hinders, everything that was maybe foggy before. I felt like even once upon a time you felt clumsy. And this could have been, I heard clumsy in love. Okay, you know, like drunk in love, but clumsy in love, that kind of a thing. So I don't know if this pertains to love. Maybe you're trying to manifest love. I do see the numbers behind this person right here, the symbol for divine protection. But I feel like maybe even though you acknowledge and you understand or understood that you had all of these skills readily available, I think that it was really difficult for you to master. And what I mean by that is that perhaps you had a hard time gaining your pentacles, your money up, your stability, your feet under the ground, that kind of a thing. Wait, you don't want your feet under the ground. That would be very bad, because then we wouldn't be talking or, you know, sharing energy, that kind of a thing. But I think you know what I mean. So I feel like it could have taken you a while to really master your skills, to feel like you could wield them at will, to feel like they didn't dominate you. And I feel a little bit of maybe frenetic energy, but this is coming to an end if it hasn't already. It's completely done. So you're not in this clumsy energy anymore. And I feel like you are enjoying being able to wield all of your talents. This is a sort of truth, clarity. Your communication right now is very, very clear. It's precise. I feel like you're really direct with what you want as well. I feel like emotionally, you have emotional intelligence. You have the ability to really convey what it is that you want, but you also have the ability to read a room, to read a person, and you can even potentially be an empath. You also have the fire, the excitement, the drive. Now, this is where I feel like currently you might be, I don't want to say willy-nilly, but a little bit like spirit is protecting you. I feel like even your spiritual entourage is kind of protecting you from yourself. You might be somebody who is so fiery that you're like, okay, I have excitement here and there and everywhere, and I need to really kind of focus on one thing. And I've kind of managed the other 3 skills, but the one skill that is a little bit like topsy-turvy, I feel a little bit Harry Potter vibes right here, would be the wands, and that's your excitement. And I feel like it's committing to one thing. I also feel like your energy level could be a little bit up and down at times, so that you are functional, but then your motivation, your drive, your excitement for said function tends to wane a little bit. So that can ebb and flow just a bit, not a ton, but that's your energy check for right now. Right now, I feel like whatever it is that you're speaking, you're holding tight to that. It's like, this is my truth. I speak. And I'm going to say what I mean and mean what I say. And if you don't like it, then, you know, that's just too bad. But I like this. I like this. Now, I feel like you're also very much graceful at this point in time. You could feel almost like a brand new baby colt getting on your feet once again. And the interesting part about that is it is not like age applicable. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be like really young, a teenager, or older person. It doesn't make a difference. I feel like you're finally owning your power, and I feel like you have quite a bit of time to be able to not just wield your power, but just really kind of hone your skills and master them. So I feel like that's where you're currently at. And right now with the number 3, I think that you are looking for people to collaborate with you, corroborate. I feel also somebody is writing a book or wanting to write a book or writing a chapter or contributing to, I don't know, like a magazine, articles, or something in the written form, okay? So I feel like you could be that person that has a book in you. And if you don't have exactly a book, you've written something, like a couple of things that maybe you want to publish or do. So we have the 7 of Cups here, which is really deceitful on this one, because these cards right here are so, they're new to me anyways, but the 9 of Cups look just like the 7. I confused them. This is definitely 7 of Cups, though. This is illusion. So I feel like you're mastering your illusions, and that's where your energy might ebb and flow just a little bit. It's like, you know, the one example I can give you is that sometimes I feel like, well, I would be so really good. Do you like the redundancy? I'd be so really good at playing the cello. I just know that if I bought a cello and I gave myself like 3 days, that I could be playing in the opera, or, you know, I mean, something ridiculous like that. So not to that extreme. That's just like highlighted kind of funny stuff. But you get the point. I feel like with the 7 of Cups right here, you're eliminating a lot of things that you maybe pie in the sky before. Maybe you had dreams, maybe your visions. You're kind of like, well, you know, I can live in Ecuador, or I can, you know, travel and do this, and I can be a tour guide or somebody who takes people on hunting trips, and you're starting to realize that, you know, that might have been like a great dream and things like that, but I didn't pursue it. I don't have the skills necessary. So I feel like you've kind of chopped down a lot of these options, and that's currently what your energy is that you have like narrowed things down to something that is feasible, viable, and that you're actually having a desire to go towards. I feel like you're calling your people in, you're calling help in, I heard all systems play, all systems go, whatever those things mean. If they mean anything, there we have it. So, oh, hi. Your spiritual entourage has something to say about this. The Page of Swords are saying in order to get your energy level up and to be more consistent, to be more fluid, to be able to wake up every day with like a similar drive, agenda, or excitement to keep you basically on target and going and not straying from the path, whatever your path is, perhaps do a little bit more homework. And they're not saying perhaps, that was my word I threw in there, but they're definitely saying go ahead, pile number 3, and do a little bit of homework, more researching, all the things that you need to do in order to proceed in a proper manner. The more information you have at this point in time, it is going to help you greatly. So the card actually says, witty, communicative, that word, communicative. See how when I slow down, I can actually pronounce. It's so exciting. Vigilant, curious, mental agility, alert, thirst for knowledge, chatty relentlessness, inspired messenger. Well, anyways, you get the point. Do your research, because Spirit's saying that you will have a lot more mojo to be able to produce what you want to produce, and also to be able to achieve the longevity it's going to take to stay in the race or stay on the path and achieve your goal. Okay. Hope that made sense to you. Now, what are they supporting? Your entourage. Pile number 3. Your entourage, by the way, is very humorous. I feel like they have a lot of fun watching you. I feel like they get amused with you. And it's not like laughing at you. I feel like they laugh with you. You could have definitely, you know, you can have a quirky sense of humor like I do. So whatever your jokes and your sense of humor are, I feel like your entourage, spiritual entourage, definitely gets you. Now, your human entourage, probably not so much. And I think that they might not even really be aware of this side of you. Some of them might know, some of them have an idea, and some of them might be gaining more clarity as time goes on, because you're getting closer to be more focused and doing what it is that you are meant to do and doing what it is that you love, which includes your prosperity, obviously, by the card that you chose, right? Moving on. What are they supportive of? Your spiritual entourage. I'm so sorry, you guys. I actually went to work and I came back and it's super late now, and I just want to finish this reading for you guys before tomorrow's reading, which will be the next day. Okay, so there's some things that you have to leave behind. And they're supportive of that. Your spiritual entourage is saying that whatever you must walk away from, okay, you may have put time, energy, emotion. You may have taken a lot of time to like measure out all of the liquid that goes into all of those beautiful cups. You may have decided that I'm going to take, I think it's called a beaker, is it? Well, anyways, you measure the liquid and it's got to be super precise. You're like, okay, this drink is going to be the drink everybody, all 8 people have, or all, you know, whatever, all the whatever's right here. So you measured them out, you took your time, you stacked them properly, you made sure that there was even spacing, and yet all for nothing. And that's how it feels to you, because you realize that in order to obtain your security, you need to walk away. Your security in what, right? It seems kind of counterintuitive to be able to walk away from something you poured yourself and so much into, and have to walk away from a sure thing. And it's almost like the devil you know versus the unknown and what is out there. And I feel like mentally there might be a little bit of a tug of war there. Now, this could be about moving away from a job loss, or moving away from people that do not support your narrative, do not support you, do not even understand you. And I did mention before that your earthly entourage doesn't really understand you, your level of spirituality, your connectivity, and the things that you're trying to do right now may seem to be quite the puzzle. It's almost like one of those puzzles that you have to read manuals from and buy cheats because you're not going to figure out by yourself, that kind of a thing. But you know darn well exactly what you're up to, even though you don't have 100% clarity, because you're walking in the light. I feel like you're walking on faith and in spirit, and I feel like you're spirit directed and spirit taught, okay? A large part of your prosperity is leaning and contingent upon what spirit has to say about your journey. And I feel like this is my pile. Yeah, so you've said many goodbyes to different things. A lot of ego deaths, I mean, also being shown right here. You could have let go of many, many things, okay? And I feel like it's been very difficult. It's been challenged. It's been kind of a little bit of a zoo. I think that people are just kind of shook by the decisions that you have made, and yet you keep going. And the reason why you keep going, you're able to, is because your spiritual entourage is like, hey, I know you're walking away from plastic. People, places, and things. Get your nails correct. All of a sudden, we went to grocery store. You want paper or plastic? I have no idea what's going on here. But your spiritual entourage knows that you need to walk away from this and that you need to put to death maybe certain egos, maybe how you perceive yourself. Maybe you're concerned with how people perceive you. Could be a really big one. A lot of us have to go through ego deaths like that. And really, I feel like in the end, what people think about us is really none of our business. We can keep it pushing. It doesn't make a difference. They don't pay our bills. They don't really pave the road for anything. And typically people that are judgy and ruling from their pitiful ass lazy chairs have nothing going for them. Okay. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. If you have so much time to observe and judge other people, you have nothing going on. Moving on. What is your entourage supporting? Empress. Yeah. Well, this is double trouble, friend. This is prosperity. This is whatever you touch is going to prosper and bloom and grow for you. And I feel like this is encouraging. Like you're going to find your center. Again, the Tootsie Roll Pop. If you guys remember the owl, how many looks does it take to get to the center of Tootsie Roll? Anyways, weird references. Here we go. But I feel like you're being divinely supported, encouraged. And the more that you kind of narrow things and move away from things that just aren't you anymore, people that want to control you, people that want to control your narrative, people especially that are dedicated and committed to misunderstanding you. Now let's talk about that for a moment. And so I feel like with this death card, not only is this ego death, it may be like your reputation, things like that. And just saying, you know what, if you're committed to misunderstanding, then that's fine. We're just going to keep it pushing. But I feel like this is overall, this could be family, this could be friends, this could be an age or an era where you're like, okay, that's a chapter that's gone. In fact, we're no longer doing chapters on this. That's a book that's closed and we're moving on. So Spirit is very supportive of you moving away from this narrative because I feel like you're bringing change and generational curses. And I feel like you are paving a new way for things to be done that you never thought you had the strength and the wisdom and the know-how, and let alone the brawn to be able to do all of this. And so that leads me back to the third question. That leads me ahead to the third question. How about that? And that is, what is your entourage applauding? So I know it's a similar question, but totally different. Here we go. What is your entourage applauding? Because I see that you're gaining your prosperity, and how you're doing it also, is redefining yourself. So what is Spirit applauding? What are you doing that Spirit is currently applauding right now? You have the sword again. Something lovely will grow from this. And it's just having trust. It's having the faith of the mustard seed, right? Where it eventually grows into a really big tree and that's reliable. But look at right here. Look you here. I feel like with your wisdom, with your words, with your ability to cut out everything that is just excess, things that are not right for your path. This is getting rid of old stuff as well. Old tapes, old narratives, things that maybe perhaps people have told you that you need to live up to. Example would be, and I've shared this before, but, you know, coming from especially my father who gaining weight, you can't gain weight. You can't be any size big. You have to be on the thin side. You have to be beautiful, well manicured, and present well, and usually hush up. Like not well spoken, things like that. But I feel like you could be allowing all of those things to go by the wayward. You're like, yeah, that's not my tape anymore. That's not my narrative. And this person has a right to feel, think, and do whatever it is that they want. But I have a right not to be around it. So I feel like you're eliminating all of those things. Number one, I feel like you are changing their narrative about how you see yourself and how other people see yourself, how you present yourself as well. And with the number 5, a lot of changes, a lot of fluctuations. Some of you guys have had cosmetic surgery. You're considering cosmetic surgery. Some of you guys have dental issues. I've been there, done that. And some of you guys are also doing like veneers or braces or all the things. So you could be like all into that. Some of you guys are looking at like liposuction or giving tummy tucks or mommy makeovers. I don't know what your deal is. But that's for some, okay? Most of you guys I feel like you're moving towards Mother Nature in the natural way. What are we applauding here? What is your spiritual entourage applauding for pile 3? the lioness. This came out in another read. I think it was pile number 1. Only if you feel led. The lioness. It could be the lion, though. You've earned all of your stripes. And look at here. Chicky Poo right here is reading a book. And that could be the very book that I talked about earlier that you must be writing or thinking about or ruminating about, okay? So I feel like with this fish, I don't know if this is like a mermaid or what the deal is, but it's going to be really deep. It's going to be unexpected. It's going to be refreshing. It's going to illuminate a lot for other people around you to be able to bask in that glory, meaning that I feel like they'll find tidbits in order to help them to really kind of understand themselves even. So this could be like a autobiography or something like that. I don't know. Moving on. Let's see what else is Spirit applauding for you. Your entourage. Your entourage. I feel like your entourage right here. What is this? The Four of Cups. And the world, yeah, is supportive of endings, is supportive of you. You're going to have opportunities that you missed, that you thought you missed, and things like that coming around again for you. So you didn't miss anything. Everything is being held tightly for you in a safe zone, I heard. But also when the time is right, and when the time is ripe with a P. Okay, so have no fear about you missing things. I do feel, again, a lot of solitary vibes. You could be quite solo at this point in time. And maybe perhaps you have been solo for quite some time. But with the Prosperity card and the Empress, I feel like you're doing well for yourself, a lot better than what you think. And I'm not saying you have to be rich or whatever, but you're definitely abundant. You're doing okay by yourself. There's no need to panic, even though you're experiencing probably 2, possibly 3 endings, or 2 endings and walking away from a third situation or person, which to me totals an ending anyways. So 3 basically. This is going to really pave the way and open up for better things to come towards you. And your entourage is like, we want better for you. Yeah, here's the end of betrayal. Here's the end of people with verbally abusive mouths coming for you. Here's the end of people gunning for you. You've been surrounded, says your entourage, by people who do not get you, who do not understand you, people who want to IF you. That was kind of awkward to say. They want to IFUCK you, that kind of a thing. People who evil eye you, people who want to just look in order for them to gossip, to talk, to continue misrepresenting you. I feel like you and your name have been lied upon for quite a bit. And I don't think that this is like just in one area of your life. This is something almost that has like followed you, but that is about to lift, okay? 7 of Swords right here. People going on behind your back. I think that a lot has been held from you. But in the end, a lot has been held from you for you. So you have the Hangman right here. And this has caused you to undergo massive changes, massive developments. And I feel like it's forced you to go inward and really lean on Spirit. Because in the end, there weren't many people, if anybody, that you can trust. Yeah. The Knight of Pentacles. So your advice, best course of action for you is continue doing exactly what you're doing. Be practical, reliable, stoic. I'm going to try and tilt the card so I can read it to you. Slow and steady wins a race. Hardworking. Be the Knight of Pentacles. Take your time. Make sure that if you deposit one little thing and it tends to multiply or it tends to be well accepted, well received, then go ahead and do that if you feel led to. But you know, you want to take your time and not go all in on any crazy quests like that. Hard times are coming to an end, and this is you justice at last, baby. Your entourage says, you know what, you thought that this was all painful and all tears. Maybe you didn't really cry, because I'm not necessarily a crier, for the most part anyways. But I'm going to say with the Justice card, this is about putting things into balance. And people that have like gone behind your back and lied and just told, I feel like this is like family. This is, quote, friends. This is coworkers. This is not just like one thing. And I feel like you are winding up being like a foil and a reflection to those people in the end. So that's a whole different reading. But right here, best course of action, stay the course. You're doing well, even though sometimes it doesn't feel very good. And I'm just now seeing the number 2222 on the clock, which to me stands a lot for, it's like the 1111, the Four of Wands in the Tarot. And I feel like this is home, your hearth, your stability, and things like that. So it's going to be a period of enjoyment for you. I feel like with the oranges and the reds and the yellows blending in together, your first three chakras are really solidifying. So if you felt out of sorts, if you felt like you didn't know, you didn't have direction, you were not able to have pleasure, or you're not enjoying your life, you're kind of methodical, you're mechanical, you're just going through motions, or if you've been feeling like your home life and everything around you is topsy-turvy and it's not solid and it's not safe, all of that is about the change, because I feel like your first three chakras are totally aligned. So if that is true and you feel brave enough, type in aligned or in alignment. Otherwise, I will see you at your next reading. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.